Welcome, everybody. Hello, my name is Bosa too. Friends call me Bosa, and I'm here. I'm sorry. Welcome to the discussion of my interview of autism awareness. I have autism, and I am an artist, and I'm 18 years old. I have a question for all of you.
Okay.
All right. Would you all, and I want you to give a good explanation. Would you, okay. Would you all rather would you rather hang out with autistic kid? If so, please explain your answer.
Okay. I think I haven't spoken at all this meeting.
Oh, hey, George,
this session. What's up?
All right.
So, 5th grade. I'm gonna tell a story right now. 5th grade, I had my best friend was actually an autism or suffered a disorder. It's insane, really, how in 5th grade, lots of us were like always cheering him on, backing him up, supporting that he's not alone, And as you mentioned about the superpowers, he was actually insane in that. Like in 5th grade, even though it's in 5th grade, he was actually excelling. Like his math level at that time was like 8th grade level. Like I really respected for that. But 6th grade, middle school, I kind of left him, I didn't want I cared about my image a lot, I made fun of him too. Do I regret it? Yeah,
feel that way.
I really do. Now, like during those times in middle school and high school, he acts up, like he gets mad. I heard events telling other students to kill themselves. I'm pretty sure these events, you are familiar with these events. I know it happened in a classroom. Throwing his phone down, breaking about many phones. Like, it's just weird, 6th grade, he always walks up to me and tries to talk to me, but after a few minutes of conversation, I walk away, going to some cooler kids. Like, since he starts acting up and all that, and, haven't gone close to him since I don't have no way of communication at that time. It's insane, because I blame myself for all those acts. Like, I could have stopped these people. I could have stopped him. Like, maybe if he knew that he wasn't alone, like, if he had me at least, maybe he wouldn't have done all of those things,
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. I don't know if he still goes to this school, but I kind of want to be friends with him again. Just to know that I'm there for him this time.
Okay, I just gotta say something real quick because I saw my face get Pia's face and April's face when you said stuff, and it was really. Oh, I turned off my camera on accident. Hold on. And we both got in an emotional way. I saw that in our faces, and your story was really touching because you don't hear a lot of stories. You just hear about the kids picking on the autistic kids, and I do remember some kids acting out because they brought off their medication, and I do remember all that. But for you have such a good heart, and right there, that just shows. So that's all I wanted to cut you guys off and say real quick.
That's a good way. It's a good thing you catch up, Nevaeh. Good job. George, that was a good story that you told us. And don't worry, I'm sure you and the guy could be friends again.
I remember it was I think last year or the year before, but I know it was in high school. There was this guy, and I think he was on the spectrum or something like that. And he had one episode during our class, and everybody was making fun of him. It was very heartbreaking because they don't understand where they're coming from because they're not experiencing what they're experiencing, but they were just laughing at him, and it just broke my heart. It was very sad, and I unfortunately didn't stick up for him because I didn't know what to do in that situation, but I did feel some type of way towards that.
That was a good speech, Pira. Don't worry, if you have a friend that you want to stand up for someone, I'm sure you're going to do great.
What I wanted to say to answer your question is, like, of course I would hang out with an autistic person because they're no different than like any other person I've not hung out with. In fact, quite a few of my friends do happen to be autistic. And to go on with like the stories that like Pia and George were talking about, I don't really have a story like that. Like, of course, I've seen people have like meltdowns and stuff, but I don't really have like a story like that. I just want to say that, like, to build off what they were saying, it does seem like a lot of our society especially does like make fun of like traits that happen to be autistic, if you know what I mean. Like having special interests, having certain routines, and having like comfort items and all that kind of stuff. The world finds like cringe and like childish and all that kind of stuff. But I find it personally really endearing because these people have a passion for something, whether it be, you know, a talent or a superhero or a superpower, as you call it, Bosa, whether it be a special item or whatever. And I feel like we should stop making fun of these people because these people have talents, they have skills that sometimes the normal person's brain just can't comprehend. You know what I mean? So of course I would want to hang out with someone who could make me feel like a special person, even if they are a bit different.
Yeah, like I agree with what Felix said. It's because society itself has shaped, if like you're not a normal person, you're not looked at the same as everyone else. If you're like different in the slightest, you're looked at in a different way. And opportunities aren't presented so often for them for that reason. And it's heartbreaking because they might be the most smartest person, but they will never get the opportunity to show it, so they go off. I mean, you have kids in society today making fun of them, but they don't actually know what's going on in their mind.
Yeah.
But that's why this is so important, right? Like I guess the whole idea of awareness in general is so that like kids who are our age who previously didn't understand have a better understanding so they don't do like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think that it's cool how we have this opportunity to make a huge difference.
Thank you, everyone. It really does brings me joy. It's actually the most happiest thing that anybody else could say.
Bosa, stop. If you cry, I'm gonna cry.
No, I can't help it. This is the most happiest thing that ever happened in my life. Okay, I have another question for you all. What should we do to bring awareness to people for that doesn't have, like, let me try again. What should we do to give advice to people with not autistic people? Like a normal person seeing an autistic kid, a person be like, a weirdo? Something like that. What should we do? What should we do? What advice should we give?
Go ahead, Felix.
You can do it.
I got quite a few. First of all, we need to get rid of the whole like high functioning, low functioning idea. Like people think that like, oh, because this person is selectively mute, that they're low functioning, they're like less of a human. This person can act like a normal person, so they're more of a human. We need to get rid of that idea entirely. And to go along with that, we also need to accept the idea of like an autistic person can look and be any type of person. You shouldn't assume someone's autistic because they do certain things, just like how you shouldn't not assume someone's autistic because they do certain things. An autistic person could be someone who sits quietly in the back of your classroom, just as it could be someone who likes to talk to everyone in the lunchroom. So I think we should accept that an autistic person isn't just a vision that you have in your head. It can be any person, anywhere, at any time.
Spoke as ever, man. What about you, Nabeth?
Pia, you had something to say?
I was just agreeing with Felix because I do think we need to further educate these people able-bodied people to further understand what autism is like. I personally don't really know anybody in my close family or close group who have autism, except you, Bosa. But I think it's important for other people to communicate with these groups of people to understand where they're coming from. And I think it was a TikTok, but I don't know if it was true, that we need to kind of get rid of like the different learning styles, because if someone is not doing good in one type of learning style, the teacher could be like, oh, they're just this and that, but it could just disregard where their mindset is at. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that makes sense. I want to agree with like what Felix and Peter said. Because we're not really taught about it. Like when you're taught about disabilities, you're taught. Bless you. You're taught about like people in wheelchairs, people in like stuff like that. You're not really talking about the autism or anything else. And which sucks because a lot of kids don't know it. Like over like the years, we had to learn it because we had some people that we talked to that had it. But many kids nowadays don't even know what it is. And it's really sad to see because those kids are making the same mistakes as some of the people that we go to school with are making the mistakes by making fun of them and harassing them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thinking of it. Oh, hey, George. What about you, George?
Ways to help, like ways for people, able-bodied people, or that will be aware for people with autism would be like learning what they have gone through, and just because they have this, I mean, they can't control it. They didn't choose to have autism or whatever. Just because they're different, you should just not, treat them any different. We're all human. I'll tell you that.
It makes perfect sense. And also here's my answer for autism. I feel like autistic people or people with autism needs to be the same. Needs to be treated as the same as real people. And we can't just call autistic people, because if you say the way you're saying it, it's like you're trying to disrespect the person, or you're saying that the person is different. We should say people with autistic. That way we're trying to treat the same person as a real human. And every people with autism, or everybody, should be treated as the same way as real people. And the people with autism needs to get educated or needs some more supports from teachers, because it's not their fault. It's not the autism fault. It's just they can't control it. It's not their fault. It's just a main disability for them. So I agree what you say, George. So yeah, you're exactly right.
And also another I want to say is that, like, if you ever see viewers, everyone here, if you ever see a person who are suffering with these disorders, you should have a talk with them. From my experience, sometimes you just end up having something in common that you don't have with other people. I did it back then, during 5th grade, as much as I want to. If after quarantine, or if he still goes to school, I'll have a talk to him, like see what's up. And this time I'll be there for him. And I won't leave him by his side.
Good. You're a good man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
we are running out of time, and we want to thank Bosa for allowing us to interview him, and that we found this very informational and very emotional, thanks to George and his stories, and Bosa crying. I can see in April's face because she's about to cry, so don't start crying just yet. But this has been fun, and we want to say goodbye and thank you again to Bosa.
Thanks, everybody. It makes me so happy.
Thank you, Bosa.
All of you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
Guys,
Peace.
adios, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye. It makes me so happy.